Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Aligned Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here with your general reading for the week of August 8th through August 14th. As a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. So not only is today the general reading on the channel for Aquarius, but it also, today's date is 8/8, which is the Lionsgate portal. So I did do a reading that probably just went on the channel just a little bit ago for the collective, for the Lucky Stars community, for the star signs, for the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. So do check that out, but I may mix just a little bit of kind of the information from that in here, although this one is for Aquarius for the general reading. So the 8/8 portal is believed to be most potent today on August 8th, but it is also believed to last kind of with the energy decreasing a bit, but through the 12th. So it is believed that this is a perfect time, or the most auspicious or lucky day of the year, but the perfect time for setting intentions and manifesting. So there is also kind of a bit of chaotic energy that can come with it. Sometimes that chaotic energy kind of feel chaotic during the time, but then you realize that the energy was actually very auspicious, potentially moving things out of the way, obstacles or people, that sort of thing, situations that may not be beneficial towards that manifestation or the intentions that you have set. So really, I'm going to say the same thing in this one as I did in the all signs reading, and that is that you actually create the rules. So all right, let's go ahead and jump into this. You have adjustments are required, third quarter moon. So some of you have been working towards something and it just doesn't feel like it's working, or something is coming up. Feels like potentially there's an obstacle, something of that sort. And Spirit is coming through to let you know that there needs to be some adjustments to it before it can really blow up or create the momentum that you have been looking for. So this may be just a very subtle shift in something. Maybe sometimes it's just wording needs to shift a little, sometimes mechanics, sometimes the kind of systems supporting or around whatever this is. So some adjustments are needing to be made to really create that momentum that you're looking for. So for those of you that have been working on projects, or been working within relationships, or have been working within financial, or have been working on career, that sort of thing, there are some adjustments that are needing to be made to create the momentum, to kind of really set everything in the motion that you are looking for it to go. Again, shifts or little pivots. Sometimes this doesn't mean really big changes. Sometimes it could just be some of the words, looking into like linguistics, that sort of thing, language patterns. For some, this may be just tweaking like pie charts, or that sort of thing. Hopefully that's coming through, and you understand what I'm putting out there. But there are some adjustments that are needing to be made in one way or another to create the momentum that you are looking for during this week, Aquarius. So let's go ahead and get a few here. Now you have the Fool coming in here as well. So this is really opening up in that space again with the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, that sort of thing, with believing. So the intentions that you're, the intentions that you're setting, or the manifestations that you're calling through, having a expectancy, a positive expectancy, and really believing that you can have, do, be, create, however that resonates for you, what it is that you are looking for. Also, this is coming through with the Fool as really having kind of a curiosity. Again, what's coming through is that sometimes we, as in all of us, can feel like we know the answers. Sometimes we can feel like we don't need to learn anymore, or we don't need to hear other people's point of views. And what is coming through with that, with adjustments are required, as well as the Fool coming in for this general reading this week, Aquarius, is that, sometimes we can become curious, going back to like this curious nature, this new understanding, this new aha, this new perspective, or hearing different sides, or seeing different ways that things can be done, not being kind of rigid in a way, but being very flexible, very open, and really allowing for other perspectives or other ideas or other kind of ahas to be able to come through. That may be where those adjustments that are required really kind of light up for you, or you really get that connection through, understanding that, but opening up to different points, different sides, that sort of thing. Also, this is really coming in with this energy of taking a bit of a risk, potentially taking a bit of a leap. So, again, if we go back to that adjustments are required here, Aquarius, the Fool is really coming through within this reading as this idea that sometimes, we kind of stay on the side of caution as far as projects, or as far as, putting authentic energy out there. Sometimes we get a little concerned how other people may act or react, or what they may think. And what's really coming through here is to allow yourself to shine, allow yourself to come out authentically, and allow yourself to take a bit of a risk. This may not be a huge risk. Again, sometimes the adjustments that are required aren't huge. They can be just little tiny things, but really letting yourself kind of step out of a place, have that curiosity, and then believe as well, and have that hopeful, joyful expectation that everything works in just the way or better than you thought or kind of wanted it to, okay? Let's get one more tarot card here. You also have the Nine of Wands coming in here. Beautiful, interesting energy here, as in the 8/8 Lionsgate portal reading that was just on the channel, or was uploaded today. Also, if you haven't watched that one, be sure to watch it. I'll link it at the end of this video for those of you that haven't watched it. But within that reading, there was the card Perseverance, and that is what's coming through here as well within this Nine of Wands, is really, really, being within this kind of resilient energy. You're really right within that limit, or right on the edge for some of you with that Fool, of success in whatever capacity that resonates for you during this time, Aquarius. But having that resilience, really, really having the grit to continue to move forward, even in those moments where it doesn't feel like that momentum is coming through, or where it feels for some of you potentially difficult to continue to hold that joyful expectation, or to continue believing. It's coming through here that within those moments is actually, even though we sometimes can't see it, or sometimes don't know it, but it's actually where, things are moving or working the most for some of you, right? So really, really staying resistant, continue being persistent, and this knowing that sometimes we can, have things that happen, or have things that don't look like they're happening, that can make us overthink, overanalyze. But holding on to that faith, that belief, that hope, that joyful expectation is really going to be beneficial during this time. This is going back to that adjustments are required, and kind of a capacity or a thinking space that some of you may be in, thinking that, well, if I do this, is it going to create negative momentum or move me backwards? And Spirit is coming through saying that sometimes you take one step forward and two steps back, but then within that moment of resilience, within that moment of believing, there's actually 8 steps are being taken that you may not even be aware of or be able to see, that are benefiting you within that space. All right, let's do one more. And then you have the World. Look at that. Gorgeous, Aquarius. Gorgeous. So the World is coming in here with this beautiful, this energy of growth, this energy of moving through that cycle towards that completion, right on the edge, as we just talked about, of success. So continuing to move, continuing to believe, continuing to hold that joyful expectation after those adjustments that are required are done, you know, it really does create, you're creating that momentum that moves you into the space of the world, of that growth, of that evolution, and kind of a completion of sorts, where some of you are really, really like coming to this point where you're learning, you're understanding, you're beginning to see how cycles can happen and how patterns can keep coming through. And throughout this, you're beginning to see that this can be an end of a cycle within, you know, being resilient and that sort of thing. An end of a cycle of non-believing potentially in yourself or in you, the intentions that you set coming to fruition, and the space where this new cycle can kind of begin because you really held on and you know, followed that path. You were resilient, you made adjustments as needed, and now you're kind of moving into the space of growth, the space of aha, the space of understanding, of evolution, and moving into a new cycle that is you know, in this space, in this mind space, in this head space, in this heart space, of really kind of understanding just how deserving you are and how powerful you are. That is so, so gorgeous. This is really leading to kind of a feeling of freedom, but not only that, but a feeling of fulfillment too, feeling joyful, feeling, you know, kind of over the top with the achievements that you have been creating, the movement and the achievements that have been coming to fruition. All right, let's go ahead and get one of these guys here and see what else wants to come through for you here, Aquarius. Oh, we had one fall out the back, and it says jealousy. Watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. So as you're moving through this, Aquarius, some of you might be seeing that others may be kind of having some jealousy, which is coming through due, excuse me, due to the success. Oh, because your next one is luck. So isn't that gorgeous? Due to the success that you are creating. This, again, can be within relationship, within career, within finance, however that may resonate for you. But it is bringing out some jealous feelings within others because you have been creating such a beautiful dynamic within your life, within this, that resilience. For some of you, it's coming through that somebody may have been like, you know what, it's just not working, it's time for you to quit. This could be a friend, a business partner, a romantic partner, and you held on in those moments when those 8 steps were happening that you couldn't see in the back, in the interim, right? And when it felt like there was no movement, and now that you are moving into kind of this new cycle, this completion, this success, it is kind of bringing about some jealous feelings. So be careful who you're talking to, who you trust. What's really coming through with this is to kind of move in silence, Aquarius, in those moments when those 8 steps are being taken that you can't see, that you aren't feeling momentum and stuff. Things are being done in silence, and what is coming through with this is to really move in silence yourself during this time, Aquarius, so that you are creating that momentum and not really, you know, putting out there what it is fully, at least for some of you, that you're doing, so that there this jealousy, and no matter what, haters are going to hate, Aquarius, things are going to happen. So you really, you know, for the most part, you can't tune that out or turn it off. You can tune it out. You can't turn it off for other people because we can't control other people. But also you're being reminded to really get outdoors, reconnect with nature and replenish. For me, replenishing generally happens, or I get re-energized around water, just the sounds, just the flow, the back and the forth, understanding those cycles of nature, of water, how all of that works within itself, the kind of ecology around it, if that's the right word to use. But not only that, but the environment, it's peaceful and it just really re-energizes me. So for some of you, that may be, you know, getting out by some water or out in nature, drinking your water as well, but replenishing yourself, re-energizing yourself may be beneficial if that jealousy kind of shows its head. But then you also have luck. A sudden change of luck is likely. Things are working in your favor. Excellent time for networking. So, how gorgeous is that? Now, look at that. You have this jealousy one. Watch who you trust with your potential secrets and plans. And then you also have this excellent time for networking. Now, within that, Aquarius is, watch who you are trusting with your plans, right? So this is really moving in silence as well. Keeping the information, the pertinent information, or the what have you, specifically more so to yourself, not opening up to a lot of people, but also be networking. That means making connections with other people. That doesn't mean you have to share everything and the sink, if that makes sense. But you do have luck coming in, and again, this today, the date of this reading, 8/8, is the Lionsgate portal, which is believed to be a very auspicious time and a time for setting intentions and for manifestation. So luck is around you. Luck, the energy in the air right now is very auspicious, Aquarius. So use that to your advantage within this as well. And the last card is Dolphin Play. Yes, please. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear, which is something we talked about earlier as well. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. Very gorgeous energy. Dolphins are one of my spirit animals, so isn't that interesting that that comes out? But yes, be also in that playful, and that goes back to that curious energy with the Fool, right? Be Allow yourself to be playful and curious. Oftentimes, when there's kind of a feeling of maybe things not happening, or not really kind of being indecisive, or not really knowing what to shift or what to pivot, right? What adjustments need to be made. If you get yourself into a playful state or do playful things, a lot of times that information will come through. It kind of is almost like if you try too hard, the information's not going to come through. It's like you're creating an obstacle within your own mind. But when you get into a playful state and a curious state, and you're allowing for things to flow, right? Because when we're playful, when we're curious, we're asking more questions, we're doing kind of silly things, or thinking about things in a whole different light, a whole different perspective. And that's when that can come through, when the flow kind of happens, or that potential obstacle that may have been created from trying too hard, Aquarius, can be alleviated, so that that information can come through, or that clarity can come through, that understanding, that aha, that breakthrough energy can come through, and we can have a whole new kind of understanding or perspective around it. But not only that, it's really using your wisdom as well, because right, as far as this little line right here, if you can see that, play does allow us to use our imagination, and your imagination is a very, very powerful thing, Aquarius. So do let yourself tap into that in a playful way, and really create from the mind in a way that feels so good, so playful, so curious. Like, how would that happen? Or how could I create that? What could I do as far as that goes, right? What are the possibilities? What are the possibilities, Aquarius? Because, the possibilities are endless. And play just really brings about this whole different kind of perspective. It also takes you a little bit, for some of you a little bit, for some of you a lot, out of that kind of almost rigid, inflexible state that we talked about earlier, and it opens up so many opportunities, so many possibilities. So really let yourself play as well. All right. Wow, what a gorgeous, gorgeous reading. I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit that like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, feel free to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload new readings. It is free for you to subscribe to the channel and to support the Lucky Stars community in growing and thriving. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors, and I'll see you in the next reading.